Hello, I'm Frederic, and today I'm going to talk about two novels with the theme obsession. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and Lolita. In 1955, Vladimir Nabokov wrote one of the greatest novels of the 20th century, Lolita. Lolita was based on a true story of the kidnapping of Sally. Here you see Sally and her kidnapper. I believe the following characters in the novel Lolita show obsessive behavior. Charlotte is the mother of Lolita, and after the death of her husband, she becomes obsessed with finding a man and structure. She finds that in Humbert and becomes completely obsessed. Humbert is a middle aged professor who is obsessed with a 12-year-old girl, Lolita. He actually gets a sexual relationship with her after he becomes her stepfather. He created a love for nymphs, and nymphs are attractive and sexual, mature young girls. I think the following quote of Humbert shows his obsession for nymphs. I knew I had fallen in love with Lolita forever, but I also knew she would not be forever Lolita. At the end of the novel, we find out that Lolita also had a relationship with Claire Keelty, another middle-aged man. So, from my point of view, I think Lolita has an obsession for male adults. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is a novel that takes place in a mental institution and represents a micro society. It's a story of rebellion and protest. McMurphy decides to have himself declared insane in order to be transferred to a mental institution after a short stay in prison. I believe that obsession is not the right theme of this book, but I do see obsession in the behavior of the nurse and McMurphy. The nurse Reg is obsessed with rules to have control and power over these insane male people, and McMurphy is obsessed to fight for freedom and to fight against the dictatorship of the nurse. Similarities and differences. The similarity, in my opinion, between both novels is the abuse of power. Humbert and Nurse Reg both misuse people whom they believe need their help. You can see this in the following quote from Humbert about Lolita. Uh, you see, she had absolutely nowhere else to go. By this quote, you see that he strongly believes that he's doing the right thing. Both Lolita and McMurphy fight for freedom. Lolita fights against her mother and later her stepfather Humbert, and McMurphy fights against the rules from the nurse Reg. Although they both died, you could also say that they both find their freedom. Because McMurphy wouldn't have to live as a vegetable in a mental institution, and Lolita because she gave birth to a new life, and this child could live in freedom, which Lolita never had. Differences. I think the biggest difference in these novels is the kind of obsession. The novel Lolita is based on the illegal obsession of a major man for a much younger girl, and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is based on the obsession of Nurse Reg with rules and absolute authority. Lolita is told from the perspective of Humbert. He's an untrustworthy storyteller because he's a master in manipulation, lies, and deception. The reader would almost forget what the story is all about, namely child abuse. It's difficult for the reader to know what's true. Was Lolita a lost soul taken advantage of, or was Humbert the lost in love tortured soul? You can claim this book is you can read this book, it's claiming it's child abuse. On the other hand, you can claim that Lolita's mindset is far from childish. I think Lolita was looking for a father figure, and Humbert took advantage of a little girl. I'm going to highlight this by the following quote. I answered I did not know what game she and Charlie had played. You mean you've never You mean, she persisted, now kneeling above me, you never did it when you were a kid? It is probably only a childish game, for Lolita, but it is Humbert who seems to make it into something sexual. The narrator of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is Chief Brandon. In my opinion, he is more reliable than Humbert, although he has been in the mental hospital for a long time and presents himself as deaf and mute. I believe he's perfectly normal, and I also believe that he has very good human knowledge. This quote shows that he's not stupid or insane. But I remembered one thing. It wasn't me that started acting deaf. It was people that first started acting like I was too dumb to hear or say or see or say anything at all. So, obsession is a very important theme in Lolita. It was clear that the obsession came from Humbert. In One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, in the beginning the theme obsession was not very clear, but later you could tell the behavior of the nurse was really obsessive. Both books show how people can have different views of the reality or society. People can be so obsessed by their own beliefs that they can even create their own reality. Okay, well, thank you. Bye.